Hello, Reese from The Point here. Um, Very different podcast this time, but still hopefully entertaining. I enjoyed it. Our special guest this time is Jerome Bechard. Jerome Bechard. It's Jerome from Music Simply, and also you may know him from Sulios, and he also plays in Sambazi. So we're going through the whole. He is a musician, yes, but he also, with Music Simply, develops EPKs and websites. And given all the stuff that's going on right now, we should be preparing for when everything goes back to normal, and we discuss this. So the importance of EPKs and websites. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this one. I hope you get something from this one because it's kind of educational in a sense, and also entertaining because I like having chats with my mates. Jerome Bouchard. Oh, coughing just in time. Thank you, Jerome. How are you, my friend?
Yeah, good mate. How are you?
Good. You're right. Cleared that ghost chili's sort of coming back to haunt you a little bit.
Yeah, them guys too.
Goddamn ghost chili. All right. How are you being holding up? I actually hate using that term now because I'm pretty much over this whole shit. But I do like to do formalities and make sure everyone's holding up quite well.
Yeah, holding up all right. We check in with each other every now and then, you know that. So
Yeah,
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm pretty good. I got a nifty new toy to play with from my wife for my anniversary. So,
I saw that.
it's tasty. It's a MIDI synth for those people that don't realize what I'm talking about. All right. So the reason I got you in here because you are a musician, but you also do something very important for the musicians in this area as well as outside our area. You run Music Simply, and
Yep.
you help sort out EPKs, which is lingo for electronic press kit and
Correct.
websites and that sort of stuff. So I think we'll get straight into it and talk about a lot of musicians, particularly those starting out, don't actually realize the importance of a decent EPK that doesn't look like something's just been slapped together in Word.
Mhm.
So you want to explain your angle on it?
Yeah, well, look, it's essentially it's the best way to put it would be like an online resume that any venue, booking agent, festival, really anyone that wants to put your music on a stage has the opportunity to, in one snapshot, see what you're all about. You
Mm.
know, whether it be, you know, any typical genre of music or comedy or whatever. You know, it's a snapshot. It's a resume, and it's your one chance, really, at the end of the day, to grab the attention of any prospective buyers.
Yeah, it's pretty much it's a one sheet. It's the other terminology for it. So everything compiled together on one sheet, made it look pretty. I mean, that's what you do. You get it all together and you make it look good, like instead of like looking like
Thanks, man.
yeah. Well, I've seen the EPKs before. I mean, I do my own, but that's because I know how to do that sort of stuff and then taught myself how to do that sort of stuff. But a lot of people don't know the ins and outs, what they need to comprise of,
Hmm.
and what they're actually used for. So,
Yeah.
would you would you consider like linking your tech sheets and that sort of stuff with an EPK at the same time as well?
Look, a lot of festivals ask for that,
Mm.
and you know that. You
Yep.
know they ask, for your stage plots and your tech sheets, and absolutely, if that's what they want, you can add a PDF, downloadable PDF, for something like that.
Mm.
Not a drama. Um, it all works as part of your very own website, your very own online presence. That electronic press kit is like I said before, it's a snapshot of one sheet. It's got everything that any booker needs to to put you on a stage.
So basically, one or two links to a streaming or a downloadable MP3 or WAV file. Links to, like, every musician should either have a Google Drive or a damn Dropbox folder. It's not that hard to do.
Absolutely.
And in those, you should actually, like, I know what I've done in the past and with both bands is actually have a dedicated festival folder or a release folder. So, say, for example, a band has come out with a release, right? I normally put together on my computer. I normally put together a whole heap of stuff just to put into one folder into my Dropbox and break those folders down. Break that folder down to 3 groups. You'll have one which would be your promo shots.
Yep.
So like a low res and a high res. Would you recommend like any other things like that?
You can either have a high res for use on posters, and you've got your low res or website suited files for your website. Because at the end of the day, you can't chuck on a 5 meg or 10 meg or 20 meg picture on your website because your load times.
Thank you. Someone that actually gets it, because I get press releases with 7 megabyte bloody images every day and it doesn't work. I have to go through and minimize stuff, but thank you. Do continue.
Yeah, look, it's there's so many little things that are involved in the build of an EPK, part of a website, which it has to be friendly to the person that's viewing it. So, booking agents on your website and it's taking more than 10 seconds to load the site. See you later. They're going on to the next person.
Bingo.
Those little things like file sizes, they make a big difference. And there are converters out there, and conversion plugins and whatnot that do the job. But at the end of the day, you've kind of got to put it all together, which is what I do. I help put that stuff together. I don't know that a file size will hinder the website loading time. I had one I was working on today, and there was a 126 meg video that wouldn't, the actual website wouldn't take it. And I work in WordPress. I work in a couple of other platforms now as well. So I had to look at other options, and embedding a YouTube clip is as good.
Yep. Or a Vimeo clip, or was it Viva or anything like that?
Not TikTok.
Sorry, what?
Not TikTok.
Not TikTok. Hey, it's the choice of a new generation.
Yeah.
Just ask Tones and I. That's how she got famous. Oh, it wasn't Triple J, man. It was TikTok that got her famous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dead set. All right. So a lot of people, if they say that they're wanting to cheap out and not sort of use professional services like yourself, who you would actually get a really good product with you. Some people don't know how to actually put together a PDF, and they don't realize it's just as simple as printing to PDF.
Yeah,
every
absolutely.
every WordPress, either Mac or Windows format, has the ability just to do it.
Yeah, file save as.
Or export or print as something. Yeah, a lot of people don't realize you can actually do that.
And that's one of the other things I offer too is because, like I said, the end user, there might be some old codger that's looking at your website. He doesn't want a website. He wants a PDF in his email.
Mm-hmm.
You get an EPK that I've done for you, and I'll also send it to you as a PDF, as a file, so that you can send it in an email to bookers. So yeah, PDF, EPK, website, one page, also available as a PDF.
Yep.
PDFs are also another option because you never know who the end user is going to be.
Yeah, I mean, basically, this is your chance to sell yourself, and you got to give the people that you're aiming at everything they're going to need to entice them to go, hey, I'm going to book this band because this band's done something, or they've released something that's getting attention, or hell, they present well. I mean, please don't do photos of if you're a metal band sort of standing up against a brick wall, because everyone's done that. um, so EPK, we got that out of the way. A lot of people sort of still struggle. I'm surprised that people still struggle with the actual concept of it, to be honest with you, because it's really not that hard.
No, it's not. I
So,
was going to. You took the words out of my mouth. It's not hard, but
no. So the
it,
next big thing is the actual website. Now, um, I've been watching a few artists on socials, local ones, well, relatively local, mainly Brisbane,
yeah.
asking if websites are still relevant, and I had to bite my tongue because they are goddamn relevant. I don't think you just can't put everything onto Facebook and then just expect that just to be your one and only stop.
Yeah.
So this is
Don't
something
get me
you,
started.
no, I want to get you started, man. This is the whole idea.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
let it go.
Poke the bear a little bit and
Yeah,
see what comes.
yeah.
Oh, mate, you know I've been saying this for years, and we're going on to 5 years now that I've been doing this. And one of the very first things I said, and it was at a hookup session in Brisbane for Music Industry Inside Out,
Key music.
and yeah, Q Music, and I sat for like it was a big opportunity for me, and yeah, eggs in one basket. Everyone's on, Facebook and Instagram, and for the sake of the argument, I'm going to throw MySpace in here, because look what happened to MySpace.
Yep.
Um,
Poor MySpace. Rest in peace.
yeah, and it was great for the music industry, but it went down like a sack of potatoes.
Well, Timberlake tried to save it and try to make it more of a music social media site kind of thing.
By then, Facebook had already started.
Exactly. Yep.
Go. So my whole preface to everything has been own your own piece of real estate online,
Yep.
because your page on Facebook or your handle on Instagram, although you think it's yours, it's still owned by Mark Zuckerberg and all the shareholders of Facebook. And they have every power to change algorithms, and tomorrow they could shut the whole thing down, and there goes a whole lot of businesses.
Yep.
Um, it's up to you to own your own space, and a website is one of the only ways to do that, because you purchase your domain for 12, 13, $14 a year.
Yep.
And you talk to someone, get them to build your website. Go to Wix, go to Squarespace, do whatever you need to do to build a website. There's a lot of options out there for those that want to do it themselves. By all means, go and do it. If you need help, come and talk to me. There's no shame in asking.
So for you, what would be like a good website build? Like what's got to be in there for an artist, right?
Oh, look, an EPK for one. That's a given. But you can go from anything. Main page, bio, a gallery, your social links, contact,
Yep.
how to get in touch with you. Yeah, some music,
It's not
which
that
is
hard.
all.
Yeah, it's not that hard to embed that stuff. Yeah.
So really, your website is there, and an EPK is like a summary of your website.
Yeah.
Really, to make it easy and simple for someone to check out. But your EPK also lives on your website as a page. But it's not hard.
A lot of people freak out and think it's going to cost like thousands of dollars to get a website built. I know this is sounding like an ad and that sort of stuff, but I don't know how many times I've actually had to try and sort of reiterate the importance of just spreading out and getting as much content out there, not just relying on Facebook or Instagram or Reverb Nation to degree. I don't know why people still use that, but yeah, Reverb Nation or any of that sort of stuff, right? Spread it out, like it, you.
Yeah, you're Mr. Press Release, man.
Yep.
Press release, get them out there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many times I've actually tried to teach people how to write a press release, and I still see them coming through and just sort of shaking my head, going,
Mm.
I've said this multiple times. It's pyramid structure. Give me the most important thing at the start. Don't give me 2 paragraphs. What am I supposed to do with 2 paragraphs? It's a bugbear like that. You can poke.
Magic wand.
You're poking the bear back, man. That's what it is. Can we start on press releases? Jeez. So with websites done, I mean, your cost is basically your hosting, your URL, and your upkeep, and it's really not that expensive. If you're looking to make money and you're being serious about it, if you're just a hobbyist and you're just a stuff around band that like plays probably like 3 gigs a year, then don't worry about it.
I know there's no point.
No, but if you're chasing like,
Yeah, if you want 3, 4, 5 gigs a week, and there are a few people on the coast that are doing that, you do the math.
yeah,
Let's say 5 gigs a week, average 3 hours a gig, $300 a gig.
yep,
5 gigs, $1,500. You're only going to get that if you've got, people can find you. Part of that is SEO. That's another.
bingo. Please explain SEO, please.
Oh, no, I just feel like I'm shouting myself out here. Come on, man. Look, SEO, search engine optimization. I'm going to be real quick on this.
Yep.
Google has, and this changes as well. It's changed about 3 times, I think, but when I last, when I've got this one in my head. Google's got spiders. Spiders crawl through all the websites. They find keywords, they find structures, they find metadata, they find pictures, they find pictures with alt text on them, headers, H1, H2. There's a gamut of information that these spiders crawl through websites to find. They find the right bits, and you end up higher up on Google. So where you want to be. If you want to be on page 1 for wedding singer, you need to have all those right bits in place.
And it doesn't happen overnight, but it will happen.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. And a lot of people think it's like, oh, how come Google can't find my thing? And I'm like,
it takes time. Organic.
Yeah, give it 6 months, man, because unless you want to pay some big bucks,
Yeah.
and again, pissing me in a pocket. My track record for people that want to be on page 1 is 100% so far. So.
Okay, this is a tricky one then. Okay, you have, and your very good friends in town who have a pretty common name. Now this is the trick with SEO and tagging, and because I actually at first before they were with you, it was really difficult to find them on socials. It took me a long time to find them.
It still takes me a long time to find them.
What I think one of the most important things, like this is the reason why I added an extra U in mules. It was basically to as soon as if you type in MUULES, it will be at the top because it's a unique name. You might get some random Indian stuff there, I think, or whatever, but but most of it it'll be us. But if you go with a common name or a name like I'm going to use my other band like Barefoot, it took us a long time to get to number 1 in the search.
Yeah.
There was a couple of reasons for that. One of the reasons was there was actually 2 bands previously to Barefoot that existed with the same spelling.
Mm-hmm.
One was a Canadian band in the 1970s that's won Juno Awards and that sort of stuff, and they're extinct. The other one was a bluegrass band in America, and they still have a Wikipedia page.
Wow.
So they therefore still exist. particularly on Spotify and Apple and that sort of stuff too. So it took us a long
Yeah, right.
time to actually try and break up that data as well to make sure that our tag was separated. So none of our music actually got grouped with the other Barefoot, who
Yeah,
no
right.
longer
Yeah.
exist, but they refused to give up the name because of the
They're
fact
still
that.
online.
Yep.
Once you're online,
Yep.
very hard to get offline.
Mm-hmm. And I think every member of that band is off doing solo projects or with other projects, but they want the fan club they developed from the original Barefoot band to
Okay,
follow them in. So that's why it still exists. Because yeah, it's smart on their behalf, but it's damn annoying for us.
damn straight.
Yeah. So that took us. I would say probably about 2 or 3 years of constant gigging and content and a website and all that guff in there just to get us
Mm.
up to the top.
It's a big slog.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
it's tiring.
so, so choosing your band name, yeah, it's a big part of it.
Mm.
Big part of it. I'm not gonna divulge any information on what town we're called before. But when I was first met Ant and Rich, they had another band name, and first thing I did was Google it,
Yeah,
and some 1980s band in America
yeah,
name, and I'm like, let's find a different name, and they came up with that, which is, and town is it's a hard one. To be honest, I've done no SEO on town.
mm.
Uh, I don't know why. Probably because they never asked me to, but really, there's on the Sunshine Coast, they're known.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, it is what it is. It's a town.
Yeah. It's just it's a hard, long, difficult game, and it gets confusing, and that's why you got to have someone sort of that knows the ins and outs of. All you gotta do is teach yourself how to do it. I mean, I've taught myself how to do all this sort of stuff, but
Yeah, so did
some
I.
some people don't have the time or are scared of all the effort that goes into it. But it pays off.
And that's where, Reese, I found my niche market, and I think I might give you a little segue in a minute,
Ooh.
to give you why I started everything.
Mm-hmm.
And we're talking back in 2015. I'd jumped jobs, and I was looking for Sula, to book her
Yep.
at the venue I was at. And I couldn't find her online. And her stage name is Solar.
Yeah. But she
Type in Soul.
but didn't she play as both sometimes?
Oh, that's a good question. Possibly.
Because I do
Uh,
remember getting gig guides and I got confused and was trying to figure out if it was the same person. It was the same person, but sometimes it come through as
yeah, but there's
Sula.
also Salua is out there as well.
Yeah, no, it was definitely her.
Yeah, right.
It was just confusing, and I was just going, oh, do I correct the gig guide and actually put it in as Solar, or do I go, okay, yeah, this is what I've been given, so I'll just go leave with Sula. I don't know. I'm just
Yeah, so that's how it all started.
right.
And I approached Sula and I said, hey, I need to learn how to do this. So let me do your website for you.
Yeah,
And that's how the relationship began. And the Music Simply was born and grew from there. And, a portfolio of websites that I did for very cheap back in the day now has grown to over 20 musicians,
hmm,
and still growing. I'm still getting people hitting me up. So
good. So
yeah,
yeah, you've got was Mufasa one of yours? Did you do Mufasa's one?
no,
No.
no, so
Huh.
come and list them.
Yep. Nah, it's alright. I know of the ones that you actually put up. But you do you still do management too? Because you were managing a few.
Yeah, look, it's kind of like a bit of a pseudo job at the moment. It's gone nowhere in the last couple of months due to COVID-19.
Mm-hmm.
I won't swear again, sorry.
That's alright.
But management was something I was just helping the boys at town out with. Woodshed down in Brizzy, they they needed someone to help them up here, so
Yep.
you know, put a gig together at the shed. And well, and yeah, myself, Solios.
Yep.
Uh, and yeah, so just essentially it's just applying for festivals and trying to get more gigs at the end of the day. I'm not an agent, but I'm kind of like hard to explain
Mm.
because I'm not a manager. I manage a retail. I'm good at that. But management is something that is, it has been presented to me as something to do. And, someone like Richard Branson said, if you don't know what you're doing, do it and learn how to do it.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of, by the seat of my pants, doing a little bit of management. So, and these guys are cool. They let me do what I do. Posters, festival applications, here, there.
Got to do the hustle.
Yeah, a bit of a hustle, bit of a side hustle.
Yeah.
Nothing. Management doesn't bring in any money.
No, the hustle is the hardest thing for me. Like, unless you're actually a natural shit talker, management is actually really managing bands is actually. I find it difficult. I mean, I used to manage. I did manage Barefoot at the start. We have our manager now with Matthew. I've done for a few years now, and he's done a good job. But I manage mules. And it still does my head in. Particularly if you're trying to turn to do a release gig or something like that, and you got to deal with support acts that decide to pull out on you within a week or anything, and just the amount of stress you got to go through that. Plus, thinking that you're playing as well, so you're focusing on that.
And that's kind of why I haven't really taken the bull by the horns in the management side of things, because I don't have the time.
No.
For that, I've got a day job, I've got a family and kids, and music simply is my little retreat that I go back and I tinker on the website and do with that. But yeah, dealing with other bands and pulling out and venues that want you to hook everything up and do this and set up the whole thing, and I don't have time for that, man. That's something that at the moment. Right at the back.
Yeah, that's frustrating. So we'll go to the music side of things then.
Yeah.
Because you're a percussionist.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit? Yeah, I've seen you at work, man. You're pretty good.
Thanks, man.
So you do the duo with Sula, which is Solios.
Yeah.
That was just starting to get rolling, really, before this.
Picking up.
Yeah.
It was getting good, and I was thriving on those gigs and playing. And yeah, our last gig, I'm not sure if you saw my last post, was in Mooloolaba, and it was a Sunday, and on the Tuesday they announced, "See you later," venue, and straight away I'm like, oh no, where's this going to go? How long is this going to last? And it's still going. And this was February 15th, I think that date was. So we're in May now.
Yeah.
So,
you sure it was February 15th? Because my last gig was on the 14th of March.
15th of March, sorry.
Yep.
Yeah, Sunday.
That would make sense. That was a Sunday. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, because mine was Saturday the 14th. Because mine was actually supposed to be a festival, and they pulled the pin on that festival. And that was just when they started saying, "Oh, we social distancing, we can't do it." So we managed to weasel in onto a very small venue, which was so much fun, and I'm grateful.
Yeah, I remember you seeing all your stuff on that.
Yeah, that was just like a couple of bands that were supposed to be playing it. They knew the bar owner, and they said, "Can we play it?" And he said, "Yeah, come on." So it was the basic of basic setups, and it was packed. This tiny little valley bar, and it was so much fun.
Nice.
And then that's it. Disappeared. It happened so quickly.
Yeah, it did happen quickly. Overnight, it was done. And a lot of people are still reeling, It's tough. It's a tough time for everyone. And I feel sorry. I really feel for the musos that have that as their sole income, I can't imagine. And this is what's the worst. The musos that have that as a sole income, their fallback was hospitality. Not
Yeah. Yep.
most of them. Not, I'm not
Most
going to
of
say,
them. I
but
mean,
most
a lot of them. Yeah.
fallback was, cafe work or bartender work, and then all that whole industry went as well. And I've got so many friends in that industry, and oh man, I just count my lucky stars that I've jumped hospo.
I mean, I've been in my same job for 14 years, so I was very, very lucky in that
Yeah,
regard. Even though it's retail, it still managed to survive because of a website. Believe it or not, how funny is that? That's how we survived, and now we're starting to trickle back into normality a little bit. I don't know if you are.
bit of online sale, didn't you? For a bit, you said you were selling some stuff online with your job.
Yeah, well, we've had it. My work's had a website established since 2001,
Yeah,
and it became one of the most well-known websites for its product for quite some time. Um, yeah, we've gone through different website sort of changes and different platforms that we've been using. So we're now using WordPress.
yep.
We never used to. We had a full-on standalone website that was built from scratch. But
Well,
yeah, that was we had that. But then because it was on a Drupal 6 platform, so sorry for the tech speak. I'm gonna get all nerd and geeky. Um,
you don't
yeah.
even me. I don't even know what you're talking about, mate.
Okay. Well, Drupal 6 is basically like a coding language platform kind of thing. No, it's no support for it anymore, and our website was like in danger of if anything happened badly, it was going to fall apart. And
Yeah.
thank God that we decided to get it updated
Yeah.
and moved on to a platform which is easily managed, easily updated.
Well, mate, WordPress. The reason I started dealing with WordPress is that it was and it still is the most widely used CMS content management software platform
Mm,
in the world. Shopify, Wix, and all that. I tinker, I
yep.
can help. But yeah, WordPress it's got everything.
So I use Squarespace for my band stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, Squarespace, another one. Wix,
Yep.
Squarespace. Um, yeah, and they're good. They're easy.
Yeah. Well, I found WordPress you still need to know a little bit of coding to um, get it working precisely. If you don't like the template the way you really it comes out
Yeah,
and you want to tinker with it, you kind of need to know your way around coding a bit.
and this is where I get the questions. I'm like, oh, can you make that particular part of font on that line? Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, look, I can. It'll take a bit of time.
Yep.
I get there. I think I've got pretty satisfied customer base. So yeah, man, it's been a fun ride.
I bet. Are you? Because you were also just recently before COVID, um, teamed up with Sambazi.
Yeah, man, Sambazi. I joined Sambazi in November, I
Yeah.
think it was. I've
So
done a drumming, dancing troupe,
yep.
Brazilian dancers and drummers. Lots of fun, man. That's next level. I thrive playing with Sula because we feed off each other on stage, and there's definitely an energy there when we play together, especially when we play places like Soul Bar.
Mm.
The crowd, and you know what
I've
I'm
been
talking
there. I've seen you doing it. Yeah. Yeah.
you and you feed them back.
Yep.
Bazzy's different altogether, but it's also it's a nice different.
It's a spectacle.
Oh man, and we've done gigs. We did the Trifford, and we supported Melbourne Ska Orchestra and the Sunny
Sunny
Coast
Coast
Rude
Root
Boys
Boys. Yep.
on the Ska Festival a few months back, and from something like that where you walk through the crowd and the dancers are dancing and you're it's kind of military because you've got to follow the leader and Chicken George is the man.
George.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I just watch him and if he says stop, you stop.
Yeah, he's a good like conductor basically. Like I've seen him in action plenty of times because of Shawnee, like the drummer Barefoot. He was a long time member of Sambazi, so we used to watch him play that and just watch him in watch all. It's actually a really cool thing to see. Well, you get to see all the Brazilian dancers doing their thing too, but it's just the drumming and the synchronicity between all the drummers doing their parts. It's actually quite
Practice.
wicked to watch.
We practice.
Oh yeah.
We do. We haven't done a rehearsal now for a while, but we do fortnightly rehearsals. Thanks to the crew at Soul Bar, they let us get into the back room and practice because
Geez, that would be loud in there though.
Oh man, it's when you got what are we at the most? We've got like 10 drummers, and 6, 7, 8 dancers. It's not, and the dancers dance. They practice their choreography, and we practice the soccer, the samba, we've got so many, and we've got different names where George will say, right, we're going to do this now, and we know how it starts. He has his call, tut, and we reply with our pom 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 pom. So it's a lot of fun, man, and that has given me it's rejuvenated my drumming. I get more practice. My hands get more worn. I can play faster. I can play stronger. I go and play the next weekend with Sula, and she goes, What's different with you? I said, well, I've been playing with Sambazi, and she goes, wow, that's different. That's awesome. So they complement each other, and it's great. And I love it.
Have your calluses gone soft though?
They have.
Yeah. Yep.
Um,
Yeah. I'm dreading.
my camera, my iPad is sitting on my new drum, and I'm looking at it. I'm like, oh, I'm in love with you. I can't wait to rip it out and really have a good crack at it when we get Sambazi back, and Solios, when we get some few gigs. We're due to play. I'm a bit sad. We're due to play.
Was it Perugian?
Perugian Originals this weekend, for Mother's Day, and sad, but that was going to be our first sort of duo.
That would have been a good one too. I mean, like Barefoot's return to Perugian in 3 years was supposed to be on Easter Sunday.
Oh no!
Yeah, and we were just like, gutted because we just haven't had the chance to, or just the stars haven't aligned for us to actually come back and do Perugian, because we've done Perugian a few times, but it literally had been 3 years since we actually done it, and we're like, we've got to come back, and it was all set to go, and then like boom, we're like, oh wow, that's.
Is there 20 years or something coming up on it?
This year, yeah. I think they're doing a special one on November though. Should all this be settling down, which I do hope.
Have you downloaded the tracker app yet?
Sorry, what? No, I missed that.
The COVID tracker app?
I'm not going to even mention that.
I haven't, for the record.
Yeah, I'm not going to divulge and start stirring people's arguments. I don't do the conspiracy theory thing, but at the same time, the track record for apps is not exactly the best thing. So, yeah, nah. Hey, mate, believe it or not, we've done 37 minutes.
Oh, is that all?
Is that all? A lot of people say, go,
feel like an hour to go?
Yeah, no. Man, that's been an epic chat. That's what I was wanting from you, was mainly to drill home the importance of the EBK and the websites, particularly now when no one's really doing anything, and now would be the time to actually be doing that sort of stuff.
And that's the other thing, I've had to, as people have had to, what's the word I'm looking for? Adapt. They're people streaming online and still performing. I've adapted what I've had to do, because I know that there's no income coming in from gigs from prospective musos. So little plug, and just down the bottom here you'll see it come up there when Reese gets,
when I put it in. Yeah, it'd be like down there somewhere. I haven't got it. Actually, you know what? You're not seeing this right now, but like, there's actually like a big Music Simply right underneath both of us. So it's been
Oh,
there.
really?
It's been there the whole time.
Sweet. Uh, no, but I've offered you know, payment plans,
Yeah.
gift vouchers. If you can't pay, still let me help you.
Mm.
I'm happy to look at payment plans. You know, pay me later, but get your website up. If you can get your mother-in-law or father-in-law or friends to donate you a voucher, there's a voucher there they can buy for you.
Mm.
So there are other options. You know, I'm not going to go to Afterpay, but there are options there to get your shit sorted and get online, especially now because when everything opens up,
Yep.
the people that are going to get gigs are the ones that are online.
It's gonna be a bombardment, I reckon. I haven't even begun to even think of how I'm going to approach venues for my own project. No, like, I don't have to worry about that with Barefoot because Barefoot's got booking agent and management.
Yeah.
But for Mules, I think we're just going to be, it's going to be a mess.
It's going to be a rough time. But you know, each on their own. You know, each for themselves.
Be prepared.
Absolutely.
Wicked, man. Good chats. 40 minutes. Woo! Nailed it. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Jerome Bechard. Did I get that right?
Yeah, you got it right.
I got it right. Stay in alignment. I'm going to chat with you once all this is wrapped up. Do check the Music Simply link underneath there. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, Jerome Bechard. Thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed this podcast and previous ones, as I always say, please, if you have not subscribed, click the link below. Where's my hand? I won't use my root finger. That. Subscribe and ring the bell so you get notifications whenever the next podcast goes live. More to come. Thank you very much for supporting it. Cheers.